Hello guys, this is Sapphire Morningstar. I'm here with episode 9 of Cloak Dagger, season 1. And we start off the episode with Evida's aunt in the French quarters. In the quarters. Chantel, she's pretty much has this bottle of liquor, and she's sort of marking, I guess you could say, the energy points that she feels. So she's spitting out the liquor, marking it, and she has done that all over the city. And so when her niece Evita drops in to check on her, her aunt tells her we got a disaster on the horizon. Another crisis is coming, and you got to find a divine parent, right? And so Roxanne is pretty much, as you've seen before past few episodes, Roxanne has the pipes pretty much all over the city. I think it's about 7 pipes they have across the city, and so. As we learned on the oil rig, that the energy that they're digging, it's very dangerous because it turns to people very aggressive once they are infected by it. Once they come in contact with it, so it's soon to explode. So this episode is also interesting because we have Father Delgado. He's monologuing about what makes a hero, and it kind of coincides with with our 3 characters that will be showing us, which is Tyrone, Tandy, and of course Detective O'Reilly. So Tandy's in her church with what looks like a bundle of cash, and on the other end of the city you have Detective O'Reilly look on as the police department cleans remnants of left behind by the officer that died. I cannot pronounce the name for anything because I feel like if I pronounce it wrong, it sounds like I'm swearing. So I just avoid pronouncing it. Offhand, O'Reilly notices a bloody police baton under the sofa, but it's immediately snatched by the officer, of course, and they hustle her out of the room. Later on at the bar, O'Reilly runs into Connors being heralded by the department. So he gives a toast for the officer that passed away, and O'Reilly pretty much she lashing out. She's upset. He made her girlfriend pancakes, and he's helping her try to put Connors away, and he went and killed this man. And what I think was the really messed up part is when O'Reilly hits Connors, which she's angry. She's been drinking, plus she's angry. That's usually not a good combination. Is that he takes it out her hand, the baton, and beats the crap out of her. And now she's in a bar full of other officers I'm sorry about the interruption, but police bar, yeah. So she's in the police bar getting her butt kicked by Connors. The other officers aren't doing nothing. So obviously, majority of officers, most likely they're probably crooked, or they're so afraid of Connors they don't want to stand against him. But I'm like, Connors is one freaking dude. I'm pretty sure if y'all all gang up on him, y'all could overpower him. Literally, Connors is one man, but I'm just saying he's literally one man. Y'all could easily take him down, but whatever. So next we see go to Tyrone, and we see Tyrone and his parents react to the news of Billy's alleged murderer. A rep for the police department promises to keep them apprised of every development. That's another. They just like lying through their teeth. It's obvious, but that's their only only way they. It's just oh god, this police department. Oh, I hate crooked cops. I really do. Oh, like cops are just not useful in superhero situations. In anything, they're not useful for nothing. So it's the same thing it was told 8 years ago. In the meantime, Connors would only be suspended from the department, like pretty much real life. Something happens with a police officer that they know did wrong, he's gonna be suspended on paid leave. Really? Okay, I got a dead kid, but yeah, let the officer still get paid for killing my kid. Okay, whatever. So Tyrone's folks are less than pleased about the state of the developments, and it messes with their headspace as the week progresses. Tyrone is distracted in class and choir. His mother is distracted in Roxanne, and after Tyrone finally puts the hands on the white boy who trapped in a locker room way back when, Father Delgado brings Cloak, I'm calling him Cloak, he's not even Cloak yet. Well, he doesn't call himself Cloak. Okay. So Father Gotta brings Tyrone to his office for a sort of intervention. He quizzes Tyrone on the War of 1812 and what it takes to truly end the conflict. But it isn't long before the conversation goes to rails. Tyrone drags Father the father out for hiding out in the private school, telling him that you put yourself here so you don't have to feel anything. And then they get into this little scuffle, and Tyrone ends up, touching him, sees his fears. Which is, he was drunk driving, and he ended up killing this child. Who's clearly, I'm guessing, it looked like, could we see a bike, and then we see a soccer ball. So it was a kid chasing a soccer ball on a bike, and he hit, because, I'm guessing that's probably what happened. And then meanwhile with Tandy, she's back to her old game. She's out in the world scamming men, mostly white men with money. And she claims that she just figured out how to steal people's hopes. And we see her pretty much take this man's sex fantasies, and it's pretty much like a high, essentially. So then she visits the Hess family, back at Mina's home. Even is living with his daughter. They happy to see her, and one hope that Tandy might take the high road with their little family. But a comment from Ivan. A comment from Ivan about her father pushes her over the edge, and when Mina apologizes for her dad, she even tries to offer Tandy a job. That Tandy takes a glimpse at her. She pretty much takes this girl hopes away. I'm like, Tandy, you can't be doing it because you upset. That's not how you deal with that. That's not how you deal. So then she ends up heading to the police station to bail out Liam. And then she catches a glimpse of a woman carrying water containers who looks like the assassin that we saw earlier, but she doesn't really think about it. So she ends up bringing Liam back to the church, telling him that she wants to eventually get married. So she's pretty much cashing in on his hopes from earlier seasons. So then she ends up seeing what his hope is, and he still pretty much is in love with this girl, and he wants to marry her. And so she ends up taking this hope. I'm just like, really? Really? So while she's in the middle about to take his hope, Tyrone ends up coming into her head, kind of, because the powers are connected. And he pulls him out both the vision. And he's like, what did you do? Because, like, really? So Fellow Doc Guggle, after he comes back from the vision, tells Tyrone to leave because his head is messed up. Like, what the heck just happened? Leave. Just leave. And Evita approaches Tyrone. She's trying to get him to confide her so she can find the other pair. And then Tandy comes out of nowhere saying, stay out of my head. So when Evita intervenes, Tandy touches her. And Evita tries to steal her hopes, and Evita's like, no, and just pushes it out of her. And she's like, that messed Tandy head up. She's like, wait a minute. Like, did she just push me out? Yeah, she did. I'm guessing she got a little bit of voodoo magic too. Her aunt probably taught her what she needed to know. So that's when pretty much Evita realizes that Tandy and Tyrone is the pair, and then she leaves to obviously go inform her she found a divine pairing. So Tyrone confronts Tandy, and they pretty much go into another argument about whose life is the hardest again. So Tandy returns to church, find out Liam took her money and split. I'm like, what you think was gonna happen? This boy, even after he sat in jail for all that long time, he still had hopes of, marrying you. So obviously he was still loving you. Took that hope away. And we saw with Mina that apparently when you take that hope away, there's a slight effect. So when she took Mina's hope away, Mina had killed that little bumblebee. Well, the bee, I don't think it was a bumblebee. I think bumblebees are slightly bigger. So she killed the bee. So when she took Liam's hope away, most likely she took a hope away of him ever marrying you. So he's like, why the heck should I even try to be nice to you? So I'm gonna take your shit and dip. And basically that's what he did. I kind of feel bad because he really liked that girl. She just ruins it. So Tyrone heads back home, and he decides to have him and Mama have a sit down. So they talk about how she pretty much says Tyrone was a loose end in the investigation of Billy's murder, and that Tyrone could not afford to worry about the consequences, but his mother called that a luxury. His parents had to consider his safety first, is why they let the case die out. To the cops, Tyrone was expendable. And when Tyrone points to Connor's confession on his tape, his mother says, "You have a white cop on tape confessing to killing a black kid. Have you been paying attention? In our world, that means nothing." And she is right. If you look at recent news stories when it comes to cops and children of color, especially when you have the body cam evidence, majority of the time the officer does not get punished, and you just have this killer that just killed the innocent child or innocent person on the loose, and nothing is being done about it. So that really hit home right there. It's like, whoo, boy. And then I also noticed another thing is what Tyrone says back to the mother. He says, which is a lot of stuff that is usually taught to black children of what to do to essentially to avoid being a target in society. In this society, is that don't wear hoodies, don't do this, don't do that, don't essentially look like a stereotypical black person, the thug type individual. Essentially don't look like thug. But even when you don't dress like the stereotype, you still get picked on. You still are seen as a target. So he's like, everything I do, if I do everything perfect, they can still come after me. So why be perfect? Which is serious. And because what was I gonna say? Because it's essentially you don't care, But some people can't look past that skin color, which is an issue. So after they have the little talk, we did hear the police officers outside his house pretty much saying they're trying to capture him for a murder of a cop, which is the one that would just died. So basically trying to frame him. So he ends up running. So then we see back to Tandy. She goes to her mama's house. The water assassin lady is there, and she has a gun to the woman's head, to Tandy's mom's head. And Tandy's is trying to figure out what the heck should she do. So now we at the point where things is just about to get really, really serious, and it's like, whoo, Lord, what's gonna happen next? So that was it for episode 9. So episode 10 is the last episode. I will be posting it right after this review. And we are done after episode 10. We are done for Cloak and Dagger season 1. They will be coming back for season 2 in 2019. I think it's spring of 2019. So they pretty much most likely are probably filming this fall, in winter, fall, winter, and be ready by spring. So most likely probably be ready by March, April. I think that should be enough time for them to do what they need to do, in terms of editing and everything else. So this episode definitely was good. Overall, the way they build up everything and the realism they have dealing with each character in terms of, that parallel side world with Tandy, and then of course, Tyrone's situation, I really just love how they handled it. Like, it's not, because sometimes stuff like that can get real preachy, you know what I'm saying? But this wasn't preachy, it was just like, it was not preachy, but it was just delivered in a way that you'd be like, yeah, I understand, you know what I'm saying? And Avita, Avita is growing on me. Especially when she messed up Tandy. She was because her little hope was of her being a doctor, and then Tandy comes in trying to take the hope. Vita turned around, no. Tandy was like, that messed Tandy up. That messed her up so bad. Tandy was like, wait, what? Because you gotta think about it, because you're used to going in people's head and stuff and seeing their hopes and their fears, and so to have somebody once you're in their head, they turn around so and push you out. That messes your head up. But I knew something I knew Avita was gonna play a part. I mean, her aunt is a voodoo priest, is a voodoo lady. So I was pretty sure Avita most likely had some training in that aspect, you know, to probably help her guard her against, you know, other supernatural forces. So that definitely makes sense. So I think I see Evita as probably being very helpful to Tandy and Tyrone, sort of like let me see what's the word, like the Oracle is to Batman. You know, like Batman has the Oracle, something like, you know, something similar like that. That might be Evita's role in this situation. That's kind of how I'm seeing Evita right now. That might be like her little role to play, like, you know, someone who helps him on that, you know, on that aspect. So that is all for episode 9. I will be back with episode 10, and we're done for the season. Let's see, it's August. So after Cloak and Daggers, then I will be starting The Gifted season 1, because next month in September we will be getting season 2. October, the last season of Fairy Tail will be airing, and so also when I start season 2 of The Gifted, I will also be doing all the seasons of Fairy Tail, which is, I think they have 8, so seasons 1 through 8, and of course I'm currently also doing Attack on Titan's reaction, and so my next reaction video will be up this upcoming Monday, so I'll be having episodes for Attack on Titan episodes 2 and 3 up by Monday, hopefully. And then next week I start school, but it's not really going to affect my schedule much because I'm only off 2 days, which is Tuesday and Thursday. And it's not like I'm going to spend long days there, so pretty much I'll do school, do some studying, come back, and do some videos. So that's pretty much what I have planned so far. And if you also want to see me review anything else, anything you have, any TV shows that you want to see me reviewed, or movies, you know, just leave a comment. Because there is a lot of stuff premiering this fall that I have some ideas if I want to review them now. But I'll let you guys know. So again, comment, rate, subscribe, and see you guys next time.